Sit down with me a while, my child. Not to do anything, not to fix anything, just to sit. The way two old friends sit when the day is ending and the light comes in low through the window. Because I saw you today. I saw you look down at your hands, the lines in them, the years written into them. And I heard the question you did not say out loud to anyone. Where did it all go? The working, the saving, the starting over, the whole long climb of it. Where did it go? You did not find this by accident. I brought you here. Something in you has been carrying that question for a long time now, carrying it quietly, the way you have carried everything else, without complaint, without an audience. And tonight I want to answer it, not with slogans, with my own words, the ones I wrote down long ago for exactly this evening of your life. So do not slip away yet. Stay here with me. What I have to say will not change the number on your statement by morning. I will not pretend otherwise, for I am not a god of pretending. But it can change the weight you carry to bed tonight. And it can change what you see the next time you look down at those hands. Stay, my beloved. This hour is for you. Let us begin with the hands, since that is where your eyes keep going. You look at them and you read them like a ledger. The calluses that never fully softened, the knuckles grown thicker, the spots the years have left, the ring grown loose or tight. And the question underneath the question, I gave these hands to work for a whole lifetime. What do I have to hold in them now? Because the arithmetic torments you. I have watched you do it, not at night. You do the brave version, in daylight, at the kitchen table, when the envelope comes, the statement, the pension letter, the balance that should be bigger by now, that everyone says should be bigger by now. I saw you open it and read the number twice, as if reading it again might add a digit. And I saw what you did next, my child. You folded it back along its crease, neatly, and you put it away in the drawer, the way a soldier dresses a wound, quickly, privately, so no one would see. You have a whole drawer of folded numbers like that. You think no one knows what that drawer costs you? I know. I was standing beside you at the table. And the comparisons, oh, my child, the comparisons, they are never invited and they always come. The man your age from the old job whose house is paid off. The cousin who retired at 60 and sends pictures from the sea. The neighbors whose children are settled, whose ceilings do not leak, whose evening seems to have arrived right on schedule, while yours keeps being postponed. You do the cruel mathematics, same years, same effort. Why them and not me? And then you go further back, looking for the moment it went wrong. The layoff that ate the savings, the illness that ate the years. Yes, I remember it. And I am not asking you to relive it tonight. I only name it because you count it. The time you emptied what you had for your children because they needed it, and you would do it again tomorrow. And yet it sits in the ledger as a number that never came back. You audit your own life like a suspicious accountant hunting for the error. My child, put the audit down for 1 hour. The error you are hunting for is not where you think it is. I will show you where it is before the night ends. For there is an error in your books, but it is not the one you fear. And then there are the questions other people ask, the innocent ones, the ones that go through you like a blade through bread. at the family gathering, at the reunion, at the church door. So, when are you finally going to slow down? When do you get to rest? Asked with a smile, meant kindly, and you answer with a smile of your own, a smile you have manufactured for exactly this purpose. Oh, you know me. I like to keep busy. And behind the smile, the true answer that no one hears. I cannot stop. I do the numbers every month, and I cannot stop. You have become fluent, my beloved, in the language of the brave face. I want you to know that I have never once been fooled by it. Every time that smile went up, I saw what it was holding back. You were never hidden from me, not once in all these years. And beneath all of it, beneath the drawer, the comparisons, the manufactured smile, there lives the deepest fear, the one you have never said at a kitchen table or a church door, the one you barely say to me. You are not so afraid of having little. You have lived on little before. You know how to do it. There is iron in you that scarcity itself put there. No, the fear underneath is this. What if I outlive my money and become a weight on my children? What if the hands that fed them must one day be fed by them? What if the one who always carried ends up being carried? There it is, my child. We have said it now, you and I, here in the quiet, where it cannot grow any bigger in the dark. And I want you to notice something about that fear, something you have never noticed because you were too close to it. Listen to the very words it uses. To be carried. You say it like a disgrace, as if being carried were the one unbearable ending to a carrying life. Oh, my beloved, of all the fears you could have chosen, you have chosen the one thing I have been promising to do for you since before you drew breath. Let me show you. Come, let me take you to my word, because long ago, through my prophet Isaiah, in the 46th chapter, I said something to people grown old and tired and afraid, people watching empires shake and savings vanish. And I have not unsaid a syllable of it since. Here is what is written. And even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear. Even I will carry, and will deliver you. Even to hoar hairs, to gray hairs, to white hairs, to the very hairs you saw in the mirror this morning, I will carry you. Read it slowly with me, my child, because every word is load-bearing. I have made. You did not assemble yourself, and you were never meant to sustain yourself. I will bear. Not I did bear. Once, back when you were young and useful. I will bear. The tense is future. The tense is tonight. The tense is the years you are afraid of. Even I will carry. Who else in all your life ever said that to you and had the strength to keep it? And will deliver you. Carried. Not for a stretch of the road, but all the way home. Do you see what this means? You have spent your whole life as the carrier. You carried the job, the mortgage, the children, the aging parents, the broken seasons. Somewhere along the way, you came to believe the load was yours by nature, that you were the carrying kind. And the day you cannot carry is the day you stop mattering. My child, that was never the arrangement. From the very beginning, in the verse just before that one, I said it plainly. You were born by me from the belly, carried from the womb. You were being carried even in the years you thought you were doing the carrying. Whose strength do you think was under your strength all that time? Who do you think held you up through the layoff, the illness, the empty pocket years you somehow survived and still cannot explain? You look back and call it endurance. Look again, beloved. It was arms. So the carrier does not change shifts at your old age. The one who carried you from the womb is not setting you down at the gray hairs. That is not how I work. And it is written. And what is written, I keep. Now I want to tell you about a woman who stood exactly where you are standing. Her ledger looked finished. Her arithmetic was worse than yours. Her name was Naomi. She had left her hometown in a famine, full, a husband, 2 sons, a future, and the far country took everything. The husband died. Then, unthinkably, both sons. And she started back down the road to Bethlehem, an old woman with empty hands, with nothing to show for the decades but a foreign daughter-in-law who refused to leave her side. And when she reached the town, and the women came running, "Is it really Naomi?" Do you know what she said? She said, "Call me not Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me. I went out full, and the Lord hath brought me home again empty. Call me bitter. I went out full and came home empty." My child, has your heart ever said those words? Not out loud, perhaps, but in the drawer with the folded statements, at the table with the arithmetic. I went out full of strength and years and plans, and look what I am bringing home. Naomi said it to my face, in front of the whole town, and here is what I want you to notice. I did not strike her for saying it. I did not lecture her. Honest bitterness spoken upward is still prayer. Beloved, I would rather have your true complaint than your false smile. But Naomi made one mistake, the same one you are making tonight. She closed the books early. She stood in the middle of her story, added up what she could see, and announced the total. Empty. She could not see what I could see, that the young woman walking beside her, Ruth, the foreigner, the one asset Naomi's ledger counted as nothing, was the door to everything. That in that very town lived a man named Boaz, that a field, a harvest, a kindness, a marriage was already in motion, and that within a few turnings of the seasons, the woman who said, "Call me bitter," would be sitting with a grandson on her lap, little Obed, while the same town women who heard her bitterness stood around her saying, "Blessed be the Lord, this child shall be a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age." A nourisher of thine old age, the very thing she was certain she had lost. And the story is not even finished there, my child. For that baby on her lap grew up to have a son named Jesse, and Jesse had a son named David, the shepherd king, the psalm singer. The old woman who came home empty was holding, in her supposedly worthless final chapter, the grandfather of kings, and a branch of the line that would one day lead to me walking among you. Her last years were not the leftovers of her life. They were the part I had been saving. So hear me, beloved, and hear me all the way down. Do not name yourself at the city gate. Do not stand in the middle of your story, holding the visible numbers, and announce the total. You went out full, and you feel you are coming home empty, but you do not know what is walking beside you, and you do not know what is already in motion in the town. And the chapters of mine that look thinnest on the outside have a way of carrying the most weight. The arithmetic of heaven is not finished with you. Endings are mine to write, and I am rather famous, if you will allow me to say it, for what I do with chapters everyone else has given up on. If these words are reaching the tired place in you, the place behind the manufactured smile, then stay with me, for the best part of the answer is still ahead. And if you wish, leave a word below for the others who will sit where you are sitting. Just write the years you have worked, 40, 45, 50, nothing more, so that some other gray-haired worker, opening this in their own low evening, will scroll through and see the numbers stacking up like a congregation, and know that this fellowship of long laborers is wide, and they are not the only one still on their feet. And if you want a word like this to find you tomorrow as well, walk with this channel. There is a seat by this window every evening. Now, let me bring you another witness, because you might say, Lord, Naomi is one story, and you would be right to want more than one story. So let me call an old man to the stand, a king who had been a shepherd, a man who had known caves and palaces, famine years and harvest years, who had been hunted, betrayed, bereaved, and crowned. At the far end of all of it, gray-headed himself, David sat down and wrote out his sworn testimony, and it is kept in the 37th Psalm. I have been young, and now am old. Yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. I have been young, and now am old. He is speaking from your side of life, my child. Not a young man's theory, an old man's audit. He is saying, I have had a whole lifetime to catch God dropping someone, one faithful soul, somewhere, abandoned on the road. And I am telling you, with my white head and my long memory, I never once saw it. Seasons of little, yes. Lean years, narrow tables, barley bread instead of wheat. David saw all of that and lived it. But forsaken, left, dropped by the God who carried them? Not once, not one. And notice, beloved, that I had an old person write that verse. I could have given it to a young prophet in his strength. I gave it to gray hairs on purpose, so that one day, in your evening, you would hear it from someone whose evening had already come. And believe it. Now let us be careful together, you and I, because I will not comfort you with a counterfeit. That verse is not a promise that your account will swell, and I will not put a number or a date into your hands tonight. The false comforters do that, and their comfort collapses on the day the number does not come. What David swore and what I set my name to is something better than a number, because it cannot be spent down. The righteous are not forsaken. Provision may come thin and come daily, and come in ways that keep no spreadsheet. But the one who trusts me does not fall through my fingers. There is a floor under you, my child, and the floor is me. You have been bracing your whole body for a bottomless fall. There is no bottomless fall for those I carry. There is only the distance between where you are and my arms, and that distance is nothing at all. And now, my child, I promised to show you the error in your books. We have arrived. Lean in, because this is the heart of the night. You have been keeping one ledger, the bank's ledger, the one in the drawer with the folded statements. And by that ledger, you have judged not just your savings, but yourself. A lifetime of work, you say, and so little to show. Little to show. As if the drawer were the showroom of your existence. As if 70 years of a human life could be appraised by what fits in an envelope. Beloved, heaven has never once used that ledger to read your life. Heaven keeps a second book. And when I walked among you, I told you about both of them. On a hillside, in the 6th chapter of Matthew, here is what is written. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. 2 treasuries, one that moth, rust, inflation, recession, illness, and bad luck can eat, and you know they can, for you have watched them eat, and one that nothing in this universe has the teeth to touch. Now do not mishear me, as some do. I never called your saving a sin. The wise lay up in summer. My own word praises the ant and the careful steward. And your decades of providing were not greed. They were love wearing work clothes. No, the error in your books is not that you saved too little. The error is that you have been reading only the book that moths can eat, and calling its bottom line your life. So tonight, let me open the second book for you. Let me read you some of your own entries, my child, because you have never seen this account, and you are wealthier in it than you have ever dreamed. Every meal those hands put on a table for someone else entered. Every dawn you got up tired and went anyway, because people were depending on you, entered. Every single one, and I never lost count, even in the years you did. The children who went to bed fed and woke up safe because you stayed on your feet. The schooling paid for with overtime. The shoes, the doctor visits, the quiet sacrifices nobody itemized. Entered, entered, entered. The time you emptied your savings for your child. You record that as the year the money vanished. My book records where it went. It went into a human being, and it is still compounding there. The honest work you did when cutting corners would have paid better. The people you helped in years when you could barely help yourself. The faithfulness through the layoff, the illness, the starting over, the sheer unglamorous courage of getting up again, which the world never pays for, and heaven never misses. All entered. The drawer in your kitchen holds the smaller book. Beloved, I am holding the larger one, and by the ledger that lasts, your lifetime of hard work has everything to show. You are not a poor person with a little money. You are a rich person who has only ever been shown the wrong account. And this is why my word can ask of you something that sounds impossible until you see both books. It is written in the 13th chapter of Hebrews, "Be content with such things as ye have, for he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Look at how that sentence is built. My child. It does not say, be content because you have enough. It says, be content, for he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. The ground of contentment is not the size of what you have. It is the presence of the one you have. Contentment, in my arithmetic, was never a sum. It is a companionship. The world cannot understand this, and so the world can never be content. You have seen it yourself. The men with 10 times your savings who lie awake clutching it. The rich who are more afraid of poverty than the poor. No number quiets that fear, because the fear was never about the number. It is about facing the future alone. And that, my beloved, is the one thing you are not doing. Never. The word in my promise is built from a pile of negatives in the original tongue, stacked one on the other. I will never, no, not ever, by no means leave you. I do not speak that way about anything else. I speak that way about staying with you. So when I invite you to contentment, I am not asking you to lower your head and accept defeat. I am telling you that you possess, tonight, the one asset that makes a thin account survivable and a fat account unnecessary. You have me, and you have me in writing. Contentment is not the consolation prize of the poor, my child. It is the wealth of the second ledger, and very few people on this earth, at any income, ever get their hands on it. Take it. It is yours. Now we can return, one last time, to the deepest fear, the becoming a burden fear, because I have not forgotten it, and I will not leave it half-healed. First, hear the truth about carrying, from the one who designed families in the first place. You carried your parents, perhaps, at the end. Did you call them a burden? Be honest now. There was weight, yes, I saw the weight. I do not romance it, but you did not call it a burden. You called it love finishing its sentence. The carrying changed direction, and the love did not even slow down. Why, my child, do you grant everyone else permission to be carried in their evening? Your parents, your friends, every gray head in your church, and refuse it only to yourself? That is not humility. Look at it closely. It is a kind of pride, the carrier's pride. The belief that the rules of grace apply to everyone but you. Lay it down. The same love you poured down into your children knows how to flow back up. Let it. Letting it is not your defeat. It is their inheritance, the last great thing you will teach them. How to receive with dignity, which is a lesson only the humbled strong can teach. And second, gently, because I see how long you have managed this fear in solitary silence. Stop carrying it alone. The folded statements, the manufactured smile, the cannot stop that nobody knows. Secrecy is making the weight heavier, not lighter. Somewhere near you is a grown child who would rather know the truth now than discover it in a crisis later. A brother, a sister, a trusted friend, a shepherd in my house. Someone wise about these matters who can sit with you and look at the real numbers in the daylight. Choose one safe person, my child, and tell them the truth this week. Not the smile, the truth. You will find that fears, like mushrooms, grow best in the dark, and most of them shrink astonishingly when carried out into the open between two people. I built my family, the church, the household, the table, precisely so that no gray head would ever have to do arithmetic alone at a kitchen table. Use what I built. It was built for you. Now, before I bless you, let me put 3 things in your hands. Not commandments, direction, the kind a father gives at the door while the light is still on. The first, tonight, change what you count. You have a counting habit, and habits do not vanish. They retrain. So when the old arithmetic starts, the gaps, the shortfalls, the years that went missing, interrupt it with the other count. The seasons I have already brought you through. Count them one by one. The lean year that somehow fed you. The lost job that somehow did not end you. The time there was no way, and then there was a way. And to this day, you cannot fully explain it. Count those the way you used to count debts, thoroughly, repeatedly, out loud if you must. For the God who fed you through 60 winters has not developed a sudden weakness in the 61st. The past faithfulness in your own story is not a coincidence pile, my child. It is a track record. Read it the way you read a statement, and you will find it is the one account of yours that was growing the entire time. The second, call contentment by its true name and practice it like a craft. Tomorrow, do one small thing in honor of the second ledger. Eat your simple meal slowly and call it enough. Look around the modest room and name out loud 3 things in it you would grieve to lose, and notice that not one of them has a price. The world will keep shouting that simplicity is failure. You now know better. Simplicity, chosen and named before me, is not the consolation of the defeated. It is the lifestyle of the secretly rich. Godliness with contentment is great gain. It is written. And gain is exactly the word. My child, you are not downsizing. You are transferring funds. And the third, this season of yours has a name, and the name is not waiting. It is sowing. The world tells you the evening years are for using up what is left. My word tells a different story. Naomi nourishing her grandson. Gray-headed David writing psalms for generations he would never meet. You are holding assets the young are starving for and cannot buy anywhere. A working lifetime of wisdom, the long view, the survived disasters, the proof that a person can fall and get up. So spend from that account, lavishly. Teach a younger worker what took you 30 years to learn. Tell your grandchildren the stories, the real ones, with the hard parts left in. Pray for the young families in your church by name. You have time now, and your prayers have decades of muscle in them. Set a table, however simple. A poor man's table with love on it feeds people the rich cannot feed. Every bit of it is entered in the book no moth can reach. The hands you looked at today, my child, they are not finished. They have simply been promoted from earning a living to planting a legacy. If you have stayed with me to this hour, then you are one of the long laborers, and I am glad you came and sat by this window tonight. If something in these words loosened the knot, let them find you again. Walk with this channel. Come back tomorrow evening, and the evening after. The lamp here is always lit. And below, if you wish, finish this one sentence for the others who will come after you, tired, with their own folded statements. Through every season, he has 3 words of your own after that, or none at all. Just so the next gray-haired worker who scrolls there in their low hour finds a whole congregation of witnesses saying the same quiet thing. And now, my beloved, the light is low, and you have sat with me long enough for one evening. So let me say over you what I have been waiting all day to say. I saw the hands, and I know every line in them, for I was there when each one was earned. I saw the drawer and the folded numbers, and the smile you build for the family gatherings, and the fear underneath that you have carried like a second spine. None of it was hidden from me, and none of it changed for one moment what I see when I look at you. You are not your balance. You are not the bank's opinion of your lifetime. You are my child, born from the belly, carried from the womb. And the evening of your life is not the closing of your account. In my books, beloved, it is harvest. So set down the arithmetic now. Close the drawer. The floor under you is not your savings. The floor under you is me. And I have never yet let a trusting soul fall through. You are not facing the remaining years alone, and you are not facing them on your own strength. That was never the arrangement, not even in your strongest decade. Hear it once more, as I said it long ago, and as I will keep saying it over every white hair on your head. Even to your old age, I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear. Even I will carry, and will deliver you. I made you. I will bear you. I will carry you. I will bring you all the way home. Sleep now, my child. Not the thin sleep of the auditor, but the deep sleep of one who has just discovered the second account and found it full. Good night, my beloved. The lamp is lit, the floor will hold, and the arms beneath you do not grow old.